Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. If you like this watch, you can see it and purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And if you like these videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. Today we discuss one of the two pillars of the FP Journe manufacture. Along with the resonance chronometer, the Tourbillon Souverain is one of the two to own if you want to own a full Journe collection with only two examples. Basically, like the Daytona and the Sub, the resonance chronometer and the Tourbillon Remontoir go back to the very beginning of FP Journe's journey as a watchmaker under his own name. This is a descendant of the watch that bowed in 1999 as his very first reference. It's 40 millimeters in platinum and thus very hefty considering the 18-karat rose gold movement. It's only 9.9 millimeters thick though, with a domed bezel that allows it to easily slide underneath a dress cuff. Lug-to-lug, it's a very compact 48.4 millimeters, so it's that critical sub 50 millimeter measurement that I consider essential for a smaller male wrist of 16 centimeters or 16.5 centimeters to 14 centimeters. My wrist is 16 centimeters in circumference, so you get a good sense of scale of the watch. 20 millimeters is the lug spacing if you wish to accessorize, but I do implore you to consider this extraordinary and rare FP Journe factory green leather strap. It's green, large rectangular scale alligator leather on the top with a monotone stitch and a folded edge, and then, because this is FP Journe's practice, it's more gator, small circular scale on the underside. The small circular scale is soft, the rectangular scale is tough. The reason for gator on both sides is that it extends the lifespan of the strap. It's just more durable than the calfskin typically used as an underlay on a regular strap. You'll also note the pull-tab spring bars used by Patek and FP Journe to make removal easy if you want to change the look of your watch or simply clean closely between the lugs, matching platinum FP Journe branded pin buckle naturally. The case is relatively simple, but it does have a few flourishes that I appreciate. The symmetry of the case back and the bezel is handsome and balanced. There's a rule of thirds about the case profile, which is handsome and I'm sure has some sort of mathematical grounding in its aesthetic. The case band, which is roughly 1/3 the thickness of the watch, also has a broad horizontal sweep that unites the horizontal aspect of the watch from lug tip to lug tip, and then there's a small lip or a cantilever of the bezel and the case back over the mid case. Now jumping into the dial, let me quickly bring everything into focus. The standout feature, of course, is the tourbillon. It's impossible to miss. FP Journe has said that the first feature he designs of every watch he creates is the dial, because if it doesn't look cool and it isn't attractive, why bother? So the tourbillon gets pride of place on a black polished and continuously rounded half bridge. You will note that there's a white gold bezel for all three of the sub-registers, and I'm counting the tourbillon as a register, and a power reserve scale at 12 o'clock. You'll note that though this is a deadbeat seconds watch, seconde montre, what you're seeing appears to be sweep seconds, and I can explain that. The watch has a power-saving mode. When the Remontoir can no longer be indexed by the remaining power reserve, it takes place at about 12 hours remaining, the watch reverts to sweep seconds mode. So you'll note this is designed to keep your watch running. As I wind the watch, and you'll note the power reserve advances to 0, it's almost an inverse power reserve. It tells you the number of hours since you wound it fully. Now you can see the deadbeat seconds function on the second sub-register fully engaged, and the Remontoir constant force device is back into play, metering in quantized packets the energy of the mainspring to the escapement. You'll also know we're approaching 0, so 0 hours since I fully wound the watch. About the tourbillon carriage. It is a 1-minute tourbillon. I think, there we go, that's a good angle. It's a 1-minute tourbillon with a filigree style, black polished or wire style tourbillon carriage. It beats away at 21,600 vibrations per hour. It is free sprung, so it can take and hold a very precise regulation, and it is adjusted in 6 positions. And there's an overcoil, which combined with the tourbillon helps the watch to keep excellent time in any orientation with respect to gravity. FP Journe has said that the heart of this watch truly is the combination of the Remontoir and the overcoil. And the Remontoir is the constant force device represented by the spring and associated levers and metering devices. You'll see how its transmission of power from the mainspring barrel to the escapement is the result of interaction with the jumping seconds mechanism. So 1 second worth of power is transmitted each second. The bridges and the plates are 18-karat rose gold. That means the watch weighs far more on the wrist than you would suspect, even for a platinum watch. This is caliber 1403, and you can derive the size, 14 French Ligne, and 03, the year that work on the movement started. So that's how FP Journe codes his movements. Manual wind, 42-hour power reserve. There's a variety of finish that makes for pleasurable viewing if you have the services of a good loop. There's a circular satin grain on the ratchet wheel as well as the crown wheel. You'll note that there is mirrored anglage on the edge of every bridge, and you can see that glint and gleam as I move the watch flush to the camera. The black polished assembly of the bridges and levers for the Remontoir d'égalité can be seen with their mirrored finish. This is also known as pali noir, literally black polish in French, or specular finish. 26 jewels, entirely handmade, finished, and regulated. It's a treasure in its own right, but FP Journe does you a favor, allowing you to appreciate the best of the watch and its signature visual cue when it's on your wrist with no need to remove and invert. 30 meters water resistant, you're not going to take this one swimming, and it doesn't feature hacking seconds, but in every other respect, grail watch, dream watch, and I have to say, a fantasy come to life. See it and make it yours. Live the dream on the Watchbox.